Revival House Network. Good evening. Welcome to a new program we here at the Revival House are calling Campfire Tales. You might have seen one episode prior of Campfire Tales in the past. In that initial episode, we had a recounting of Zach's unintentional incest in the back of a pickup truck.
I wasn't me that did that. I watched it happen.
You can't make this shit up. Don't give away the ending. We want them to go over there and listen to it. We want to make it clickbaity, right? So
okay, I'll take that out.
Let's go back to it was unintentional. Anyway, tonight's featured tale is one of true horror. You see, when Revival House was in its early days, it was year one, I believe. I want to say it was the 1 year anniversary special. The Riverman and I, we decided to have it a call-in affair.
And the Lush, I think, is on there.
The Lush of yesteryear, the Lush. So we made it a call-in affair, and we had an Uber fan at the time. Zach, you might even call him a stalker. He was that obsessed. And he called in, and I thought this guy was going to be gabbing it up because he was always commenting. He was super vocal in text form. But when we answered the phone, well, you might just have to listen to find out. No, I'm not going to do that to you. He straight up fucked up the podcast and the flow because it's like, oh, this guy's not going to say anything? It was like, what? Anyway, it's great.
See, I don't remember, for some reason, I don't remember if, I remember the first time I called, I was really fucking nervous. And the second time I called, I was really nervous too. And I remember the second time I called, you didn't end up using me in the show. Like, you told me, like, oh yeah, we lost the fucking file. It fucked up there. And I always just kind of thought, oh, maybe I sucked. And they just didn't put it in there because it was cringy. But yeah, I don't really remember how bad I was the first time I called. So we're building it up. And what if it's just like, oh, he's not that bad?
We might have lied too. We might have really had it. We could have salvaged that second one. No, it was, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was pretty bad. It was pretty off. But it's wonderful though because it'll show you guys how far Zach has come and how much he's come out of his shell because now we frankly can't get him to shut up. So buckle up and enjoy this story of a young, undeveloped Zach submitted for your approval of the Revival House Society. I call this tale the tale of the Premature Ezaculator.
This dog.
How you doing, Zach?
Mr. Zach Wells.
What's happening, man?
Nothing at all.
One of our most loyal listeners of the show, Mr. Zach Wells.
Heck yeah.
What have you been watching, man?
What have I been watching? I just watched, oddly enough, the Pulp Fiction for the first time last night.
First time.
What?
Wowzers.
I said,
Yeah.
God damn.
I always enjoyed Ving Rhames with a gag ball in his mouth.
Because you hate Ving
I know,
Rhames.
I do.
That's all he was good in.
That's the only film I actually like Ving Rhames in, and I don't know, I just can't stand Ving Rhames.
Well, you have an upper hand of watching it. How old are you, Zach?
22.
You got an upper hand watching it now because I watched it when it first came out, and I was like in the fourth grade, and I didn't understand it. I just didn't know what was going on. I'm like,
You're like, wait, John Travolta just got shot. Why is he alive?
That's exactly. I didn't get the whole perceptive angle of the directing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went over my head the first time, and so it's like I didn't understand the story. But all I knew is some black guy was getting raped, and I'm like, what is going on here?
It's funny, because I actually understood the story. I actually went out and bought the soundtrack like a few weeks later.
Yeah,
because I love
right.
the fucking score on that movie.
How did you... I didn't have money when I was 8. Where the hell did you get money to go out and buy the soundtrack?
I don't know. I probably mooched off one of my parents or something. I don't know.
Hey, Mom, you know that movie I just watched with the black guy getting raped?
Yeah.
I want to go buy the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think my dad gave me the money to go buy it. Yeah, it was awesome, though, because he liked the movie, so.
Look at us getting...
Does your dad hate Ving Rhames, too?
Probably.
It's like, sure, son, go buy that soundtrack.
Ving Rhames is
Fuck Ving Rhames.
He's supposed to play this big, intimidating, dude, but he's 4 foot nothing. He's the tiniest guy ever.
Is he really?
He's tiny.
He's like Tom Cruise stature.
Oh, he's tiny. He's shorter than you, man. He's it's just the camera angle tricks. We got this big burly black dude. He's gonna be scary. Let's just not do any.
Let's shoot him from 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, and don't stand him next to anybody.
But what did you think about the movie? Look at us going crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. We're just like rabid.
Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, but oddly, I never watched any Quentin Tarantino movies.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Wow.
That was I guess I did watch Grindhouse, but that was the only other one.
Oh yeah.
I think it's River's favorite one. Actually,
Yeah, I love Planet Terror. It's my favorite.
You mean
Death Proof?
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Sorry. Ugh.
Yeah, I actually like Death Proof better than Planet Terror.
Yeah, I love. Was that Zoe Bell in that? She fucking kicks ass, dude.
Oh yeah,
She's a. I
Kurt
think she's
Russell.
actually a stunt woman too.
Stuntman Mike, dude. Yeah, he just mentioned Kurt Russell.
Oh,
He's
Kurt Russell's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
I love it at the end when he's just like the whiniest little bitch.
See,
Please,
some people hate the fact that he, he
I
got his
loved
head
it.
stomped in, but I
Loved
love
it.
that.
That's
shit,
the
dude.
funny thing. It's too bad the movie wasn't bigger than what it was, because I would have loved to seen a Kurt Russell resurgence like we had a John Travolta one.
Yeah.
Or it's
Yeah.
Sam Jackson or whoever, because he's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. He's still kind of a virgin when it comes to Quentin. What should we recommend next? I mean, I love Jackie Brown. It was his follow-up to
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction. No, it's not violent like Pulp Fiction. It's not as confusing, but it's the same style of directing. You know, the different perceptions of the different characters.
okay.
And it's very very retro, but it's got great performances by Michael Keaton, Sam Jackson
Greer.
again, Pam Grier,
Pam Grier.
stars,
Oh, we love Pam Grier.
et cetera, et cetera. So that's a good one. And Four Rooms, which I know he just did one segment.
Four Rooms is pretty good.
I love
I
it.
really enjoyed that.
Four Rooms is really good. Yeah, and of course, if you didn't watch Inglourious Bastards, that's really definitely worth a watch
Excellent.
as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I want to see more Hitler paper mache getting blown away.
Machine gun to the face.
Yeah.
It's fictitious history. Ugh, I can't say
Fictitious history?
Yeah, something like that. Fictitious. Yeah.
Fictitious history?
History. Yeah.
History?
Historical fiction.
Historical. Or you could say that.
That rolls off the
way.
tongue a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, I don't know. Since we got you on here, I don't know if there's anything particular you want to talk about. I'll get it rolling. How is River doing at his job? Yeah, I want your thoughts.
On the show?
Just in general life.
Does he get a D for his vocabulary
How's he
skills?
keeping up with his health? Is he an appropriate weight for his age? Is he treating his lady right at home? Everything.
I better be.
No, yeah, just give us your opinions, man. How
Yeah, what are I mean, well, just in general, like what's some of the favorite parts of the show? Is there anything we should keep doing? Is there anything you want us to stop doing?
I just the talking back and forth is great.
Hell yeah, man.
what is there any? This is cool. It's a chance for us to get a little feedback. Is there any
Exactly.
Is there any flicks that you would like us to like review?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
for
what should we
example,
review? Yeah.
Like, because honestly, we want to keep it broad. We want to kind of, we want to do not just like the horror stuff, but different branches of horror, and also we love action movies. We love the comic stuff. We love
80s, 90s nostalgia.
nostalgia. It doesn't matter, man.
Sure.
I'm just as happy talking about the Wonder Years as I am talking about
Hellraiser.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Hellraiser.
Yeah.
So, what would you like to hear about if it was you? Who are you?
The nostalgia is like I'd like to, Edward Furlong retrospect.
Hell yeah.
Retrospective.
Have we talked
That's the
about
man.
that?
No, we didn't talk about.
We've been talking about it behind the scenes to do because we want to get Edward on the show, man.
Yeah.
So, and actually, I am about to crack down on that. I think we can get Edward, and that's why we've been holding off doing a whole lot of Edward talk, because I want to get him on the show so we
Yeah.
can just have an Edward episode.
Okay, now Zach, we need you to come up with like 5,000 aliases, and then sign a petition with each one of those to get Eddie on the show.
and then while you're at it, take each one of those aliases, register them, and email
Register
account,
them on the website.
and then register each one of those emails on the website and like our Facebook. I gotta whore it. We gotta whore it.
You're such a whore. No, that's
Ernest
a good
P.
idea.
Worrell retrospect.
Yeah, Eddie Furlong retrospective.
Eddie Furlong's fucking great.
Have you ever seen Zach? Have you ever seen Animal Factory?
Oh no, I haven't. But what you were talking about sounded really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Thumb in her ass?
Yeah, Tom
Tom
Arnold.
Arnold?
Oh, you caught it? Yeah. Oh,
And we were just talking about Tom Arnold with Leslie.
Yeah, we just talked to Leslie Dean from.
976 Evil, Freddy's Dead, Girlfriend from
So
Hell.
technically, she's like your opening act. You should stroke yourself.
She opened for you.
But no, it's really good. It's funny because I've been talking about that flick, and then all of a sudden, like last week or something, they actually put it on the stream in Netflix. If you have Netflix.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's there, and it's really good. It's got Willem Dafoe, and Tom Arnold's got a minor part, but a very potent part.
I've seen a majority of that, and it's a pretty brutal little prison flick, man.
I really like it. Definitely indie. It was directed by, and I do believe written by Steve Buscemi as well.
Yeah, I think so.
Steve Buscemi.
So
love that guy.
And he actually plays the warden,
Yeah.
Buscemi.
Yeah.
Really? Does he play a good warden?
Like I said, his parts are kind of. You see him when he's talking about getting, when Defoe is trying to, like, they're hit parole hearing and stuff like that.
I don't know.
So it's kind of a minimal thing.
He was just kind of funny looking.
Yeah.
Just in a general sort of way.
He looks like a chewed up piece of bubble gum. Like that one, when I think of a chewed up piece of bubble gum, I think of that one tall, lanky Boyz II Men guy.
Oh, God.
It's like, they had good voices, but man, they were all fugly, man.
Let's not go there again. Are we going to start with the steak lip stuff
No,
again?
no, it's not like that. I just mean they were ugly dudes. I mean, it's like they had great voices, but one of them looked like a fish. He's like all short. And he had like the big old lips.
Okay, all right.
No, and then one guy, the tall, he was really tall, he had big dopey ears, he looked like a chewed up piece of bubble gum.
We're going to get sued by the NAACP, I think.
Boys to Men become.
I challenge the Boys to Men to come and sue us so I can get an interview. So I can trick them. Like, no, this phone call is being recorded.
We're gonna get a phone call from fucking Al Sharpton or something.
I've been served. Well, you're serving our public.
Listen, listen, crackers. You watch it with your stereotypes.
Ask him what he does his hair, man. I want to find out.
Who is your barber, sir?
This is a weird.
Ice Cube?
Oh, come on.
Oh, dude, I'd kill to have Ice Cube on the show. You guys
Yeah, dude.
dude.
I love Ice Cube.
I love
He's
Cube.
great.
You know?
He was just in that shitty movie Barbershop. Right?
Not just. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Barbershop 2.
8 years ago.
You know your barbershop.
I do. We saw the first barbershop.
You know your
theater.
barbershop.
We did. You and I did.
Is that where they steal the ATM machine or whatever? Yeah, they steal it and they hide it at the mama's house.
Oh, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's pretty. It was kind of a so-so flick.
It was funny, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach.
You know,
we're doing all the time.
I was thinking of what would make another good episode or like an idea
Yes.
would be like if you take like a classic movie like Nightmare on Elm Street and then pair it against the remake.
Oh, yeah.
That,
Yeah.
I just think it'd be
Versus-
hilarious. It would just be hilarious to hear you guys talk shit about the remake for
Hey,
a long
man, how
time.
do you just go and assuming I didn't like it better? I hate it. It
God,
sucks.
it sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. So that kind of ruins that. But yeah, we could just rip it to shreds for
Yeah.
30
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. We did the same thing with the Dawn of the Dead remake, which I fucking hate.
I just hate they didn't utilize Horseshack to their fullest potential.
No.
They didn't give him any. Dude, Freddy had such awesome dialogue, and then all he can do is, "You remember me? Are you scared of me? Do you remember me?" I said that.
There's this part where
Dude, it's like
there's this part where the girl.
Sound like a fucking pedophile. Jesus Christ.
sound like Cookie Monster
There's
got into a car accident or something.
That's all he said. That's all he said. The whole friggin' movie was, "I'm gonna have fun. We're going to play.
Me one cookie. They should have just threw that in
Love
there.
cookie."
But did you guys?
Sorry, Zach, we're not letting a word in here.
Did you guys notice? There's this part towards the end where the girl goes, "Oh, this can't be real," and he just grabs her and forces her to look at him and goes, "It's real."
Great line, Freddie.
Like I
got, like,
laughed so loud.
He's got the Sylvester Stallone going on, where like I think it's because he's burned, but like half his mouth doesn't move. That's why he talk like this.
Like
He actually looks his makeup.
All strokey.
He what?
His makeup kind of looks like the Cowardly Lion towards the end.
I think he looks like.
Courage.
I think he looks like one of the sleepwalkers. He's just sleeping. Like, consider yourself lunch.
Yeah.
You know. He's,
What do you? I don't remember if you were in on the conversation online, Zach. But I think it was on the Facebook page we had talked about doing a kind of a roast of Michael Bay. What do you think of that?
An episode?
A roast. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt real quick.
Or it could be part of an episode.
A roast implies that it's all in good fun. When I really fucking want to ream that guy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's not.
It would like literally be like skewer up his ass, out his mouth, and like turning him on a
I don't
fucking
know.
crank.
I'll defend Bad Boys to my death, man.
Oh,
I love
okay.
Bad Boys.
I hope not Bad Boys 2 though.
Nah, that sucked, but I love Bad Boys.
No, and I'm not immune to that either. I like The Rock.
The only movies of his I've ever watched and liked were, I think, Bad Boys, and that's it. I stopped watching them altogether after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I fucking Connery's badass, dude.
Oh, I love Sean
Connery's
Connery, and he's the only reason why I like
Tony
him.
love Nick
Todd,
Cage,
Tony
too.
Todd was in The Rock. Nick Cage.
He did Con Air, though, didn't
Michael Biehn.
he? Did he?
Huh?
He did Con Air?
Oh, Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's another good
yeah.
one.
It was.
You guys are
Did
roasting
he?
a,
I don't know.
a great director. What
No,
the
you
fuck?
know what? I don't know if he did Con Air. Zach, what do you think? Did he do Con Air? Do you know?
I don't want to think. I want the facts.
I don't think so.
All right. Todd,
I was going to look it up, but I was like, that's
Riverman. Yeah, Riverman was gonna look it up, but he's like, fuck it, who cares?
too far. Keyboards.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I think it was Simon West. Simon West.
Yeah.
But it was a Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Michael Bay had his tongue up Bruckheimer's ass for
Oh,
a
I'm
while
sure.
or something. It's Hollywood. I guess you got to do it. Whatever.
Who was the escape convict? Was that Buscemi? Who was in that? That was like the escape convict.
Yeah,
Was
the
it
creepy dude. He
was it
had
Buscemi?
a tea party with the little girl.
Yeah.
Wasn't it John
Yeah.
Leguizamo played the tranny?
That's Tu
Yeah.
Wong Fu, right? Well, that too.
No, that wasn't Leguizamo. No.
He was in Tu Wong Fu.
Yeah. that was-
And he played too much of a convincing woman. I doubt
Leguizamo was
myself.
not in Con Air.
Dude, Swayze was pretty hot.
Dude, John Leguizamo was hot in Tu Wong Fu, dude. I felt some stuff in my pants, and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I didn't
Hey John, can you just hold your nuts up, please? So I don't.
You
so I
pulled
don't
it
touch
out when Wesley Snipes came on screen. Did he play Tu Wong Fu?
Yeah, he did too, but
yeah.
he didn't look convincing, man. He just looks...
You love his jawline, don't you?
How did we get to Tu Wong Fu?
Did
Dude, we should do an episode on Tu Wong Fu.
Wow.
John Leguizamo? Did you guys ever watch The Pest?
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
man.
Unfortunately.
Why?
Oh, you like that?
Why are you doing this?
That movie
Why
was
are
so
you hunting
stupid.
my pest?
You guys like that movie?
That movie was awesome, dude.
I love that movie as little.
Awesome, dude.
Oh,
Like,
I wanted to shoot myself after I watched
I
it.
love it. He's like,
Oh,
I thought I was
It
your
also,
best friend. You are my best friend. That's why I picked it, the ninja.
What was that, Zach?
it also has the guy from the pedophile guy from
Jeffrey Jones.
Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Jones. Screw that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love Beetlejuice. And
Yeah.
of course, Ferris Bueller.
He was great also in Ravenous. Did you guys ever see
Yeah,
that?
Ravenous, yeah.
Like
That's a
kinda
really good movie.
Civil War era, like cannibal
Guy
movie.
Pearce,
Oh,
wasn't he in
fucking
that?
awesome! I love
Yeah.
it.
Didn't see it.
The Pest, though, what the fuck are you guys on?
Dude, I love that movie.
It's
It's a guil-
smoking crack.
It's a guilty pleasure. It's nothing but Jew jokes,
It's not
too.
guilty, dude.
He made nothing
Yeah.
but Jew jokes the whole movie. And I don't even know. I mean, like, I personally don't really get off on Jew jokes. I don't know, but he was so... I liked... I don't know.
I thought that movie was like the funniest thing ever when I was little, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Still
And see,
funny.
I rented it when it came out on video,
Yeah.
and I fucking hated it. How many years ago was that? And I fucking hated it then. I was like, this is stupid. But
I remember I watched it.
stupid.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Hey, agree to disagree, I guess. Moving on.
I don't even know what the topic of this conversation was. We just merged.
It started out as like Eddie Furlong retrospective, and then
Oh,
we ended up on Tu
Dude,
Wong Fu.
then we can
and-
do a John Leguizamo retrospect and talk about that film where he's a pedophile or whatever, and he's raping his baby.
How are we on
Oh,
the
no. He wasn't a pedophile. It was consensual between a minor
Was
and
it?
an adult.
See, I don't remember.
Hey,
Yeah, he was... She was a man-eater. She went after him, and then she traded him up. Remember they were doing, like, they were hooking on the side?
Yeah,
She
yeah,
started a
that's
little
true.
clique of high school girls that were
Oh,
hooking.
yeah. I remember.
And,
Speaking of retrospectives, though,
I thought you were saying
you
speaking
could do a Ernest P. Worrell retrospective.
heck yeah, dude. I love...
God,
well, I mean, we'd only go so far with that. I mean, whoever actually watched Ernest in the Army when it
I
got
did.
really weird. You did?
Slam Dunk Ernest is my favorite.
Slam Dunk Ernest
Oh.
was the last one I watched.
Flame
And
Bull's
I
Bar.
actually enjoyed it, but I like Scared Stupid, and I like Goes to Camp, and I like
Yeah.
Prison.
The last one I watched was Ernest Goes to School.
That one's not good.
After that,
Was there an Ernest
and the chick from
Goes to Mars,
Scrubs.
or was there
No, Ernest Goes to Mars.
Ernest
I don't even think I've seen Ernest Goes to School.
Ernest Goes to
Ernest
Heaven.
Lays to Rest, yeah.
Ernest takes 2 dicks in his mouth.
Ernest Goes to
And one in his
Ernest
dead
Goes to
ass.
Hell. It's like
That would be cool. Ernest Goes to Hell. He like has to fight his way out of hell and like beat Satan and stuff.
I remember.
That would be. I would watch that shit.
I remember after Jim Varney passed
Know what I
away.
mean, Satan?
After Jim Varney passed away, I was reading the Sunday paper, and you know, one of those political cartoon artists they have. He just drew a picture. It's not even political, but it just had a tombstone, and it said Jim Varney, and then there's a speech bubble coming out of the tombstone, and it said, "Don't smoke, Vern." Know what I mean? I'm like, that's too soon.
Come on now. God. That's fucked up.
They died?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's
Is that
dead, man.
died though?
Yeah, he died.
He wasn't. I don't even know. Was he in this? He was in the first Toy Story movie.
I think
he was in the second Toy Story movie, but like right when that one was being like pushed and that was in theaters, he died.
Right after
so that was
Toy
like
Story 2,
what, 1999, 2000.
No,
So,
it was
early
2000s.
2000s. Yeah, early 2000s, I think.
so he's been dead like over 10 years for sure.
Yeah, and you can find all his movies in the $5 Blu-ray bin or
Hey,
$7.
we're doing. We didn't even realize it, but we're doing the whole 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon because Jim Varney guest starred on a series of episodes in Roseanne where he dated Jackie, and we were just talking about Roseanne with Leslie Dean, who was in Freddy's Dead, and then that's about it. That's 2 Degrees. Sorry.
We were talking about Freddy. And
But Freddy is the second largest horror franchise next to Friday the 13th, which launched Kevin Bacon's career.
oh,
What's your guys' least favorite Freddy movie?
The least favorite? You know,
5?
yeah, A Dream Child.
Yeah.
But
mine too.
Yeah, exactly.
but
Like
it's
people
not-
argue which one's worse, Freddy's Dead or Dream Child, and I think it's Dream Child.
Oh,
No,
Freddy's Dead's a guilty pleasure. It is
Freddy's
great.
Dead is
I
awesome.
actually-
It's got so many cameos and so many like people that had careers later on.
I love Freddy's Dead.
Even with Johnny Depp,
Yeah,
making his little
Freddy's
reprisal
Dead's
in the
pretty
commercial.
Yeah.
You know, I think I might have lied to Leslie Dean because I really do say Freddy's Dead is my favorite, but I love 2 as
Freddy
well.
2 is the best. I
2
think.
is it's the unsung
so
hero.
dark.
And I used to really like New Nightmare, but I kind of got tired of it. But I really like New
I
Nightmare.
hate New Nightmare.
You hate it?
Ugh. Okay.
Freddy, Elm Street 2 was the one that really fucked me up when
It's dark.
when I was a kid.
Right
Scared
on
the
that
crap
school
out of
bus.
me.
It has
Scared the crap
the
out of me.
greatest opening nightmare scene with that
Yeah.
school bus.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
That fucked me up. And
It's
then
a really creepy movie. Part 2. I'm surprised people don't like it.
And then when Freddy crawls out of Mark Patton,
yeah.
like that just.
And is the gym teacher's like the sadist
Great
or whatever?
Yeah. Oh.
And I just love his scream. He screams from his like nightmares. Like I don't know.
That's one of the few movies I remember like from my youth. Like I did not want to go to bed after I watched it. I was freaked out.
And like his girlfriend, who was he trying to kid having a girlfriend? Like that guy was the biggest case I've ever seen in my life. And she looked like Meryl Streep, so she wasn't even hot.
Now we're gonna start
Hey.
with the gay stereotypes.
What? I didn't say anything.
We moved off the black stereotypes. Now let's go on to gay.
Well, looking like a chewed up piece of bubble gum is not a black stereotype. That's a human stereotype. That's a human.
I just gotta give you shit, man. I just gotta give you shit.
I'm half black.
You're talking shit about Meryl Streep over there.
I'm half black,
Yeah, now we're going with the Meryl Streep stereotypes.
and I'm
Jeez.
related to Meryl Streep.
Where's it gonna end?
So, what about your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street, Zach?
It's probably a tie between 2 and 3.
Yeah. Oh, 3 is great too. I mean,
Three was,
Dream Warrior.
Dream Warriors, yeah.
that was his introduction into the one-liner territory.
It was Patricia Arquette, right? In that
yes,
one?
yes.
Yeah.
Why should we fight? You're old friends, you and I.
Let's
get high.
I love that part. That was my favorite part. Like
I love it when
the marionette kind of thing.
Oh yeah, above the hospital.
Yeah.
I just love how he would go into those 2 different voices every now and because the way they would record Robert Englund's voice, he would obviously act normally, and they would go in overdub and pretty much slow down his voice to make it that deep. But every now and again, he would go into that Robert Englund voice in the movie, like that scene I just quoted, where he's like, I want to say it again. I love it so much. But it just makes it so potent. I love it. You're old friends, you and I.
Let's get high.
The one sequence that like really screwed me up when I was a kid, though, was I think it was Freddy 4, where she turns into the Fly when she's bench pressing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that thing fucked me.
Right.
I was so scared after I saw that shit.
I really miss. To me, I mean,
I don't ever want to lift weights.
No.
Her
Her arms rip open. It's like, oh my god.
Freddy Krueger. Yeah, it's the most mainstream you could get in horror and stuff like that. But I think you could outgrow it even. But no one can deny that we all watched it when we were kids.
Oh,
and it's just like with music, people want to dog on a band like Metallica, and once they move on to heavier pastures and just. But you can't deny they're the ones that got you into the genre.
Oh, I still love Elm Street, man.
Same thing with Elm Street. And I do miss. It was the glory days of practical effects where they weren't really scary, but I miss the claymation Freddy Worm and the arm scene like he's talking about. Nowadays that would be CGI. Even in like Freddy versus Jason, we had that little Freddy Roach worm that was CGI. It's like it's just kind of. I don't know.
I personally like Nightmare on Elm Street better than Friday the 13th, but I mean, I still like Friday the 13th.
I like Nightmare on Elm Street just because they're different. The Friday the 13th are too. They're too.
Yeah, I think I'd put Nightmare above Halloween and and Friday the 13th because they're more just creative.
Well, I'll say this. I really, really, really love the original Halloween, and I think River disagrees with me. I really like Halloween Part 2.
I hate Halloween 2.
I like Halloween 2. Now,
I think they both go together perfect. I almost just call them one movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like that.
I don't know.
Maybe River just thinks it should have stopped where it stopped, and But either way, I will say this: I don't care really for any Halloweens past the second. I mean, the 3 is kind of a guilty pleasure, but I'm not even counting that.
I love 3.
Yeah, I like Part 3. I like Part 3 a lot.
But past that, it's just like, okay, whatever. I will say this about Nightmare on Elm Street. I can watch the whole series, and at least even the one I least regard is Part 5. I can still watch it, and they're all different. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Friday the 13th, I like it, but man, it gets so old. Don't ever put me in front of a marathon of Friday the 13th, and that's why Jason Goes to Hell and Jason Takes Manhattan are my favorite because you get to see him leave the Crystal Lake.
Everybody hates Jason Takes Manhattan, but I love it.
It's the best.
So
I love
cheesy.
it. I love it when he gets his ass kicked by that boxer.
And then he knocks his head off. He fucking uppercuts his head off. It's awesome.
I don't know why people dog it. It's like, what are you comparing it to? You're comparing it to 20 other movies where he just does the same thing to the same naked teenagers at the camp. Like, what? Yeah. Why is this one so bad and the other ones are good?
Well, because I don't think they like the ending where the toxic waste turns him into a child. Which doesn't really make any sense.
It does not make sense.
None of that makes any sense. We got a guy that can't die and he keeps coming out of a lake, for God's sake.
That's true.
Yeah. Toxic
a lot of people hate it because of how he looks in the movie.
It was a vat of chemicals.
What's that, Zach?
A lot of people hate it just because how weird he looks without his mask on. He kind of looks like a jack-o'-lantern or something.
Yeah, he does look kind of goofy, but I don't know.
He looks like the Toxic Avenger got his ass beat.
Yeah, he does.
My grandmother looks like a jack-o'-lantern, and I take offense to your comments.
You know what? My least favorite Friday the 13th is actually Part 7. Even though Jason looks great in it, I just think it's the weakest movie in the series, or at least in the Paramount.
I like in the is it the final chapter with Feldman?
Yeah.
The final chapter.
Yes.
I like when he falls on his own machete and he just starts sinking into it in his eye. It's like he's literally pushing himself into it. Like, try and get up, why don't you?
That dude kind of creeped me out, when Feldman cuts his hair off or whatever.
Jason.
Yeah, I was like, dude, he looked like a little fucking crack baby kid or something he was
a sense of foreshadowing, was
it? Yeah.
Are we talking about Hayne now?
No. Oh, I am talking about Hayne. Sorry.
Yeah. You got the wrong
God
Corey.
rest his soul.
Wrong Corey, bud.
Too soon.
Well, if you that will always be too soon.
Yeah, I'm a Hayne lover.
I was in China for a while, and Corey Haim died while I was there. And in China, they really censored the media. So literally, Mel Gibson could have killed himself and 30 other people in some terrorist attack. And I would have.
I thought you were going to say it started the Holocaust.
Whatever. Yeah, Mel Gibson could have started the Holocaust with Pee Wee Herman, and I never would have found out. I never would have found out. And
maybe that's why people are. Maybe that's why people are much more happy there. They censor the bad news stories.
Probably.
I don't know, man. That's a whole different topic about Chinese democracy and stuff.
Yeah.
But like they anyway, I came back and I found out Haim died, and I didn't know, but even I found out nobody really knew and cared.
Yeah.
Like it was just so.
You know what? I
underwhelmed.
think he was like. In my opinion, I think he was like right on the verge of like a comeback.
Yeah.
I really think he was. Because
I heard that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. They had that show, The Two Coreys. He had a cameo in what was it, Crank 2, where he played like that club owner with the mullet or whatever.
And that movie was horrible, and he was horrible.
And it was just a cameo, but like I mean, that could have been like the start of like more shit,
work,
you know.
Yeah.
I just felt like he was on the verge of like coming back, and
he was
even if it was just for like nostalgia.
He was attempting a comeback at the sake of his own. He was ridiculing himself on a show like The Two Coreys, where he's just shown on screen crying like a little bitch the whole time. I mean, he was a sad case. I felt bad for him. He really had a lot of issues. It's like, dude, let it go. If you feel this bad, separate yourself. Move to another country. Start over. It's like, I don't live in the country where you used to be somebody. Go somewhere where you were never somebody and deal with it. I don't know, something. Get a dog.
Go to Tibet.
Get a dog. I don't know.
Go to Tibet.
Which, by the way, in China, they don't know about the whole free Tibet movement. They don't know their own country's going up there and slaughtering the Tibetans. I mean, that's how crazy it is up there.
Let's not talk about the Chinese.
I'm fascinated by it. I literally.
Conversation going south.
Oh, wow.
Well, shit, man. Yeah,
That wasn't your fault that time, Goose.
We appreciate you calling in, Zach. I think we're gonna
roll into a break.
We're gonna take a little break and jump on a new caller too. So
thanks very much for calling, man. Thanks for all your support, dude. We appreciate it, man.
And you will be in the running for the Leanne Curtis DVD. So just know that.
Awesome.
You are in the running.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. See ya.
Later, man.
See ya.